Hello students, let's continue the lesson, the touch. So let's continue from here. To sit close to father is to revive a faint memory of childhood. When he took my hand into his hand and stroked it with love, the longing I had felt as a child for such a touch flooded my inner being and tears welled up in my eyes. So now she is sitting just close to her father, and the father is catching her hand and he is patting her, and he is giving a stroke with love. So this stroke and this touch, she was longing, she was having a desire, she was having a wish in her childhood. Okay, so that childhood, what she wanted is now she is getting. So because of that, she is having a feeling. So she is getting tears. Tears are like well in her eyes. I choked. I couldn't speak. Would he understand that I had once longed for this loving touch? Perhaps all the love and affection that had flowed between us in letters evaporated at his sharp, intense look whenever we came face to face. Even in early childhood, I used to avoid him to escape his piercing glance that had hurt like scorching sun rays. Now, though I knew that they had been extinguished, why was I still unable to feel free with him? So now she is getting a feeling, that is what she longed in her childhood. Now she got it, but she was choked. That means her voice is not coming out. She can't speak. So now she is thinking in her mind whether the father would understand that this is the touch she was longing for in her childhood. Okay, so perhaps meaning is maybe. Maybe the love and affection that he had flowed. Okay, so in that young age, he didn't give such things. When he come close to close, that is in face to face, if they face also, she was not able to face her father. Okay, she was escaping from his sight because his piercing glance, that is the eye sight itself was like pricking. With a needle, if you prick in a cloth, how it will go inside? Like that, the eye, by the sight of the father itself, she was so scared. It was like that. It was like a scorching sun rays. How the sun rays will be so hot on us. Okay, scorching means very hot sun rays. If it falls on us, we won't be comfortable. So like that she was feeling, and now she feels that everything, it's gone. Now no more he is going to show some strictness towards her, but still she is unable to feel free with him. In the young age, she was so scared. Now, after growing up, now after she became a woman, now she can't be like a child. She can't enjoy the father's touch. So, she is unable to feel free with him. The first time I visited him in his illness, I had noticed bugs on the cot. I had picked up a couple of them and silently crushed them under my foot. Later, my husband noticed a bug on our bed and had been upset. I told him that it had probably crept into my clothes when I had sat on my father's bed. So, when she visited her, she was sitting in the father's cot now. So, that time the bed bugs. Okay. So, when you have a old bed and all, in that bugs will be growing. Okay. So, that bugs will be biting us also. if you are not using any medicine to kill it, it will bite us also. So like that, the cot was having bugs, and it was sticking to the author's clothes, and it went to their bed in the husband's place. Okay, so on seeing that, he was very upset. Why she brought bed bugs and all from the father? So he was upset with that. As I was leaving that day to visit my father, my husband cautioned me not to sit on my father's bed, but to pull up a chair and sit a little away. As I pulled my chair away, father asked me to sit closer to him. How could I not? He was not happy until I was almost leaning against him and had his hands in mine. So the next time she is going to visit her father. So that time the author's husband, he cautioned. Okay, so he is giving a warning not to sit in her father's bed because of the bed bugs. He was scared of the bed bugs, and he don't want his wife to sit in the bed, in the cot where the bugs are there. So he asked her to sit in a chair. So she went there and she pulled the chair to sit close to the cot. But the father asked to sit very close to her, as if she is leaning against him. Like that, the father wanted to sit, and he held her hands. Okay, again he was holding the daughter's hands. Father had longed for sons all his life, but was now left with only his daughters. At the fag end of his life, he had lost his grown-up son, the perpetuator of his name. Perhaps that is what destiny means. When my brother died, I had hesitated to face my father. Some unknown feeling of guilt had held me back. I had felt like taking him in my arms and reassuring him, saying, "Don't worry, I'm here." But I hesitated even to touch him. That's how I had been raised. Now, in this, what author is telling means, the father was loving his sons. Okay, he had sons also. He was very fond of sons because they are the ones who will carry his name. Okay, perpetuator means the long existing, who will carry the name to the next generation. So like that, he was very fond of his sons. But the son and all dead. Okay, because the father is 80 years old. That means the sons also will be little aged only. But so they died before the father. So that time she was having so much guilty in her heart. Okay, she wanted to catch the hands of father and say that I am here, you don't worry. She wanted to say, but she was not able to say. Why? Because she was brought up like that. She was raised means she was brought up like that. Next para. After I chatted with him for a while, he asked me to clip his nails. Asking mother to do it would be as useless as the mortar weeping on the shoulder of the drum. My brothers were not alive to do it, nor were his children around. Not that he couldn't ask my sister-in-law, but perhaps he wanted me to do something for him. I was elated and did the job carefully. So when she was there, the father asked the daughter to clip his nail, that is trim his nails. Why? Because the mother is so old. Okay, mortar weeping the shoulder of the drum means it's a difficulty for mother also, it is a difficulty for father also. That's the meaning, because mother also very old and she can't do carefully. And obviously brothers are not alive. And sister-in-law, he won't feel comfortable to ask the daughter-in-law to do. So he was very free to ask his daughter to do, and she was very happy. Elated means happy to do that. Perhaps father was feeling depressed. He stroked my hand and said, it would be so nice if you moved into this town. I could stay with you. He looked at him helplessly. I looked at him helplessly. A look he couldn't see. I couldn't reassure him with words either. Father didn't speak again and was silent as he stroked my hand. At that moment, my education, my job and everything else appeared vain and superficial. I sat for a while before leaving. Then after that, the father was feeling very depressed. He is longing for daughter's love. Okay, so he holded the hands of daughter and he asked, won't you come to this town itself? If you stay here, we all can be together. Like that he asked to the daughter. The daughter was helpless. Okay, suddenly she can't move from one place to another, no? That too, she too have a family. So she was helplessly seeing the father and she can't say anything in words. Okay, she was helpless there. Then the father also couldn't speak anything because he also can understand, because that's a daughter who have a family. So he can't pressure her. So he didn't talk anything, and at that time she felt she is like everything was gone. Her education, her job, everything is waste. Vain means waste. And she was sitting there quietly for some time before leaving. Then as I returned in rickshaw, father's tender touch haunted me. Tears welled in my eyes and blurred my view of the road. So she is helpless. She can't say anything to the father that I will not come or I can come later. Anything she can't assure. Simply in words she can't tell. So she was quietly sitting there and she left the father's home and she went in rickshaw. So that time the father's touch was influencing her. So tears are like well in her eyes that blurred the view of the road. Okay, she can't see the road also. That much tears was in front of her eyes. Okay, there ends the lesson. I hope you all understood the lesson. You read the lesson and you can learn the glossary and new words. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you, children.